Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting. The only person you can blame is yourself edition.
Oh no. I'm worried.
Some folks make some pretty bad decisions in this In-Betweeni. We're gonna cover some poor decision making.
Sometimes I think I make bad decisions, and then we'll record an episode of Well, That's Interesting, and I'll be like, you know what? That extra margarita really wasn't that big of a mistake.
You're doing fine. It's a mistake not to have that extra drink. So
I might need an extra after this episode. I read the title and I'm stressed.
I read the title. Yeah, today is In-Betweeni 039. Shared razor leads to infection, and chugging supplement leads to brain swelling.
It's a big thumbs down from Marissa.
That's right. I'm Jill Chacha, and I am with the horrified Marissa Riley.
I'm so horrified. I've shared a lot of things in my life with people, but not a razor.
No.
I feel like that's bad.
It is.
No one's even told me not to do that. And I just didn't. I just was instinctually like, no, that's creepy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how common sense isn't not all that common for some people, I guess.
Oh my gosh. In a pinch, though, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if this is your first time listening to Well, That's Interesting. Dr. Riley here comes in cold and
I do.
Learns everything in real time, just like you. So
just like you, I am just as horrified and grossed out as you.
This is a gross one. This is an unfortunate one, and I'm sorry, especially if this is your first time listening. Holy shit, it's gonna suck.
But you know what doesn't suck? And I'm actually being sincere right now. Blech. But the way Jill tells these stories, our other host, our co-host, she's going to take these disgusting facts and make like the most interesting story out of them. And I can always depend on her for it.
Great. That's the highest compliment. The highest compliment. Should we begin In-Betweeni 039?
We shall.
Okay. Let's begin by heading back in time just a few short weeks ago to early April of this year. We're in eternally sunny Los Angeles, California.
Nice.
And we're with a grown-ass man named Nick Holterman who's getting ready for the day.
Okay.
And part of his routine, like many of us, is shaving.
Okay.
Quote, I'm still not sure if it was mine or my roommates, but I didn't think about it at the time because my roommates and I share pretty much everything.
No.
And I was in a hurry, he told BuzzFeed.com.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
I had a roommate that wasn't a partner for many years. And while we shared a lot of things, mustard, a couch, a bathroom, I never once got our razors confused.
No.
And they were in the exact same place for years.
Yep.
And I'm a tired person. And I am always in a hurry because I'm so tired.
That's right.
And trying to squeeze in naps all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm like better or anything like that. It's just like, I never did that.
It's confusing. I don't understand the agreement between Nick and his roommates, plural. But sharing intimate objects like a razor seems like a really bad idea.
Also, if you're sharing the razor, then what else are you sharing?
Oh, man.
A toothbrush?
Everyone's different, but I don't know. That's some red flag roommate shit to me, man.
Yeah.
I'm just, anyway. Yeah, I mean, God. Anyway, so Nick went on to use the anonymous razor on his face, and apparently, even when he's not in a rush, he admits he's not exactly gentle with the process, telling BuzzFeed further, quote, I remember my skin immediately feeling irritated because I had been a little rough on my chin and jawline, but that was normal because I get impatient when I shave and I don't mind a few nicks here and there.
Okay. I understand. I when I'm in a hurry.
Sure.
There's some blood, whatever.
Yeah, sure. So after using the anonymous razor, which made contact with his skin and open wounds, he put it back, and which makes me assume other roommates may have done the same at some other point.
No! I didn't even think of the other aspects of this.
Yeah. And I think it's safe for me to assume this because over the next several days, I'm just going to say it, my friends, Nick developed an antibiotic-resistant bacterial infection that made holes in his face.
No, not holes in the face. That's like one of my top 10 biggest fears that I just developed 3 seconds ago. Oh my God. What?
Yeah.
Holes in the face?
Holes in the face.
Huge pass.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I know.
Tell me everything.
Great. That's good because we have pages of it.
Good. I need to know more about this.
Like most disasters that spiral out of control, they begin small. And small is what appeared on Nick's face 4 or 5 days after his less than hygienic morning. What he described as, quote, mini spider bites bloomed upon his chin.
Oh, vomit.
Yes, I'm sorry to do this, but Dr. Marissa, I'd love to show you several photos throughout this In-Betweeni / Nick's journey, and I just want to apologize in advance, to you and really to everyone, basically, because I will be putting these photos on our Instagram with, trigger warnings and everything, but...
To be fair, this is gross. I love some gross face stuff. I am very curious about it. I'm not like a Dr. Pimple Popper type of person, but I do get a little curious. I like to look at a spider bite progression, like a black widow or a brown recluse progression.
Impressive, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible that something so small is capable of something truly heinous.
Horrific, yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah.
So I will say there is going to be something weirdly indulgent.
Oh, yeah.
And listeners, if you agree, totally fine if you're disgusted by me and everything we're talking about. But if you're one of those people, please write in, DM us because, this is a very isolating thing. I do feel alone in this.
There's a community. There's a community.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Anyways, but back to this picture.
Yeah. So, I'd like to first show you what appeared on Nick's face, and if you could describe the sores, that would be helpful and gross. So,
excellent.
Here we go. First photo.
Okay, it's not that bad.
Okay.
So I'm looking at a man's chin, and he's got a little stubble, but he also has these kind of like little tiny sores. They almost look like there's about, I would say, 6 of them kind of contained around the chin area. They look like maybe a zit after you've popped it, and it's kind of healing, and you were really harsh on it. I'm a picker, so I've seen it once or twice. But I can also see how you would confuse them for bug bites. So it's like teeny little, maybe like wounds or scabs.
Yeah, totally.
And it looks like they're attempting to heal, but something tells me there's more to this.
There is more to it, yeah. Like you said, it's concerning, but not too concerning. And I think the average American, it's something you could easily ignore. And it's small enough to hope it goes away on its own.
Definitely.
At this point. Yeah.
Definitely.
Who wants a huge medical bill for like 6 zit-looking holes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what's going on here. He ignored it. And it's understandable who wants the bill for that, right? So
exactly. Dab some Neosporin, move on.
Yeah. Also, unfortunate, these holes didn't remain mere tiny holes for very long. Shortly thereafter, they began to pus and grow in diameter.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Nick solved this problem by covering his chin with one huge Band-Aid when out and about.
Oh my God.
But he couldn't hide some more serious symptoms.
Oh my God.
Now,
I just love the Band-Aid on the face and move on.
Yep.
I don't know if it's because I'm like a feminine person or like a vain person, but just like, there's just something so, like, I wish I was that, like, okay with flaws. Like, I wish I could just put a Band-Aid on my cellulite and move on with my day. There's something about, I don't know, our society, America, where I'm just like, no, I've got to focus on this all day. Like,
there you go.
Oh my gosh.
I have anxiety about it.
Yeah. So I'm almost in awe. I'm almost like, teach me the way of the Band-Aid and move on.
I think it was denial. I think the Band-Aid was denial.
Potentially.
I don't think it was really a way to help.
It wasn't a body positive.
No, it wasn't. It was a shame Band-Aid.
It was a shame Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think
see.
it was a good thing.
I
Yeah.
get it.
So, Dr. Marissa, would you please tell us what Nick told BuzzFeed what he was experiencing on the inside?
Absolutely. All right, quote, chills, aches, and the worst sore throat of my life. Holy shit. My first thought was I had strep, and I didn't even think about the irritation on my chin because my throat hurt so bad. I went to an urgent care and they prescribed me cephalexin without actually testing me for strep. I didn't want to pay the extra $18 out of pocket for a test because I am stupid. And quote, dude, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. When
Yeah.
they're, you know, there's an extra fee involved. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I can just go home and drink some tea.
Exactly. A lot of Americans opt out of healthcare because of out-of-pocket costs.
Yeah,
And
wonder
it's-
if there was a solution for that.
what
How
we
cool
could
would
do.
that be?
Yeah. So I think it's understandable, but I think using a razor where you didn't know where it came from, that's a little bit more stupid in his words. But we love you, Nick. So what is cephalexin? It's the go-to medication for bacterial infections. It comes in a pill or liquid form, and fun fact, it's used for folks who are allergic to penicillin.
Very good to know.
Yeah. It takes about 48 hours to see results, and for Nick, the holes actually stopped growing about 2 days into taking the medication.
Wow.
Yeah. So it looked as though there was a light at the end of the tunnel, but my friends, that light was just the entrance to another tunnel.
Great.
So on day 3 of the meds, the bacteria took revenge.
No.
Nick's sore throat, aches, and chills hit harder, and the holes on his face exploded.
Not exploding face holes. No.
Quote, to add insult to injury, my sores ballooned in size and combined to form like a mass of crusty nastiness on my chin.
No.
I went to another urgent care and they tested me for COVID, strep, mono, etc. They all came back negative, but the doctor correctly guessed that the cause was still bacterial and not viral and decided to put me on a stronger antibiotic.
No.
End quote.
No. I forgot that this was all during COVID. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the extra stress?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. I got sick once during COVID. It wasn't COVID, but it was like the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was like nothing, too. It was like I sneezed twice and I was
Yeah.
like, it's the end of the world. I need a test now.
That's right.
But as silly as that sounds, I think everyone went through something
Everyone,
like that.
every single person, anytime they sneezed, no, all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, Nick didn't provide the name of the new prescription, but of course he shared his face/experience on social media, which is where I'm getting all of these photos from.
Amazing.
So, that's right, it's new photo time. Dr. Marissa, what is your diagnosis here?
Okay. Oh. Nick, I'd say you're in trouble because this does not look familiar to me at all.
No.
This is weird. Okay, so basically, in the places where I described sort of the zit-looking spots, I'm now seeing a lot of white scabs covering a larger area. Mm-hmm. White and this weird brownish color.
Yeah.
And then there's a really big one that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
It's like almost dime size and it's just white.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of skin problems over the years, but I've never seen anything like that.
Nope.
Are there also tiny ones around it?
It looks like it's a little bit inflamed around it, yeah.
Yeah, so they're inflamed. These old ones look
Old. They look old.
They look old. They look they look tired of doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah. So here's the good news. Okay, so here's the good news. His aches and chills and the sore throat had disappeared.
Amazing.
Okay, so the new meds worked.
Great.
Now here's the bad news. The new meds also didn't work.
Awesome. Perfect.
The larger sores began to ooze and crystallize, forming a honey-colored crust.
Vomit.
Yeah, and those tiny spider bites, remember those?
Yeah.
Well, they began to show up along his jawline, which was also cut up when shaving. So,
And we can't really see it in this photo, his jawline. I'm looking now.
it's just his chin.
We can only see his chin in this photo, so I can only imagine what's going on down there.
So this is all signs that it's spreading and starting up in new places. So, Dr. Marissa, would you please tell us Nick's emotional state and his next steps?
Yes, I'm glad we're discussing that. All right, quote, I started to freak out because my birthday was coming up and I didn't want to celebrate it looking like I just made out with a rotting corpse. So I got in contact with a family friend who is an ER doctor and asked him about it. He immediately put me on Bactrim, which along with clindamycin and vancomycin is like the king of antibiotics. I'm an expert on antibiotic hierarchies now. And quote, first of all, amazing analogy with making out with a rotting corpse.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Well done,
and
sir.
Unfortunately, very true to what his chin looked like.
Yes.
Also, I get it regarding birthdays. You want to look a little nice and even just a little nice.
Yeah.
Because it's your birthday and people are going to look at you and take pictures of you.
Yeah.
I get that. I get it too. But yeah, and also I wanted to say, I took clindamycin for, it's like a topical antibiotic.
Okay.
And I took it for acne and it did nothing.
Yeah.
But I think because my acne wasn't that big of a deal,
Yes.
this looks like a big deal thing.
Yeah, your acne probably wasn't bacterial, maybe, related or something.
I'm obsessive with washing my face and keeping it clean anyways.
Yeah.
So it was probably hormonal, which we figured out. Anyways,
Here
back
we
to our
are.
friend.
Now, this strain of bacteria wasn't here to play, and neither were the ER doctors. Now, I took a look at all these meds to break it down, and they really threw everything they had at this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Bactrim is a scary white pill that's actually made of two types of antibiotics, sulfamethoxazole, Jesus, and trimethoprim. Now, these are so hardcore, they're used to prevent and treat a certain type of pneumonia.
Oh.
And according to Medical News Today, clindamycin kills bacteria, and you have quite the assortment of ways to do so. There's an oral solution, topical foam, gel lotion, topical swab, topical solution, vaginal suppository, and vaginal cream.
Wow.
That's right. In addition, it's also available in intravenous.
Oh.
So hardcore. So you can take your pick as to how you want to smear that.
Interesting. I wonder if he took a pill. I think the pill was offered to me at one point. Anyways, enough about my boring skin history.
So, vancomycin is an interesting choice because it's used to treat colitis and kills bacteria solely located in the intestine.
Oh no, that's bad.
Yeah, so maybe there was a concern the infection may spread to other locations. So they were doing preventative kind of stuff.
Fair.
Thankfully, though, it did not spread to his bloodstream or any lymph nodes, and I'm happy to report this laundry list of meds actually worked.
Amazing!
For real this time. Now, after 4 days, Nick began looking like this. Dr. Marissa, would you please describe the improvement?
So much better. Okay, so it looks like, well, first of all, he's smiling in this picture. And second of all, the white crust is gone. That was really stressing me out. I was like, I think we need to DM him about this.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
Crust is stressful.
The crust is too much. But now they just sort of like healing red sores. Still not the best thing in the world, but it looks like they're healing.
Yeah, it kind of looks like scratches at this point. Red scratches, maybe.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, so the scabs were clearing up, and he began to heal. So what the fuck was eating away at Nick's face? The final diagnosis, a case of impetigo. And it probably took so long to diagnose because it's usually found around the nose, mouth, hands, and feet of children.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was an extreme case, probably because he's an adult, but it's caused by staphylococci organisms.
Oh, staph.
Yeah, exactly, which explains his sore throat, and is spread when you make direct contact with an open sore, or when an object touches an open sore, and then you use that object. So, the razor.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, my friends, children contract this because they're children, they don't understand personal space, and Nick got this because he too didn't understand personal space, but I think he does now.
I think he does, yeah.
So, I think we all do now.
Yeah, I'm never gonna touch anything and then touch my face again. Yep. I just stopped touching my face now.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, she moved her hand away from her chin. So, after the break, we're going to say some other common sense things out loud.
Amazing.
Because sometimes you have to. Don't chug workout supplements. Shit happens.
Oh, good to know.
Stay tuned.
Please do.
True or false? Hats make you go bald. This is actually false. Maybe still skip the fedora, though. Hair loss is a genetic condition that affects 2 out of 3 men by the age of 35. Those aren't great odds. But the good news is that Keeps can help with expert, personalized care and science-backed treatments that are up to 90% effective at reducing hair loss. All without leaving the house, delivered straight to your door. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/podcast. That's KEEPS.com/podcast.
Hello, everyone. You may recognize me as Gabby from the History of Everything podcast.
And my name is Brenna, and you don't recognize me from anything yet.
Together, we're 2 scientists who explore all of the weird little questions and conspiracies of the universe in our new podcast, Mystery of Everything. Everything has an explanation.
We hope.
That is what we're here to figure out. We will dive into the science behind many popular conspiracy theories, such as vaccines causing autism, flat Earth theory, and was the moon landing fake? And if so, why the heck would anyone even do that?
But it's not just conspiracies. There's a lot of cool mysteries that we will attempt to use science to explain, such as near-death experiences, what made the Vikings go berserk, and can I control my co-host with MK Ultra?
Wait, what? Anyway, make sure to check out the Mystery of Everything podcast everywhere where you find your podcasts.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms, so when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting.
Hi, I'm Leah.
And I'm Beth Ann.
And we're She Will Rock You.
She Will Rock You is a bi-weekly podcast about rock history.
Each episode, we talk about an artist and their lives, but we do it a little differently.
You see, we noticed there was a lack of ladies hosting music podcasts,
so we wanted to fix it.
and here we are, 2 badass millennial ladies talking about rock music our parents wouldn't let us listen to.
As a bonus, you'll even get our beer recommendations at the end.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts.
And remember, don't do drugs!
And we're back.
We are so back.
We are so back, and we're in a terrible place called a gym.
Oh no. Please don't. No. Not to brag, but once I joined a gym, and then I tried to leave the gym, and it was really hard. It was like leaving a cult. I had to write a letter. I had to send a lot of emails. Yes, a letter on a piece of paper.
Did you have to cross your name out of a book?
Basically.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah,
Fucking hell.
sucked.
Okay. Well, we're here now
Yeah.
in a gym.
Great.
And it's pre-COVID days in early 2020. And before us is a 25-year-old man whose aspirations were that of many 20-year-olds to make it big on TikTok.
Oh no. Aww.
And our 25-year-old, identified by his initials J.A., he had the perfect plan to do so.
All right.
Yeah. He was going to combine his love of working out with social media's love of spectacle.
Great.
Now, apparently at the time, there was an unsubstantiated, absolute bullshit trend in the workout world that chugging your powdered pre-workout supplement without water or any liquid would help your body digest it faster, and therefore you'd get faster results. It's fucking total bullshit.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
They were chugging powder?
Yeah.
No water.
No water.
Putting powder in their mouths and swallowing it. That feels impossible. Because I don't know, if I get too close to like a thing of flour, I breathe it in and it goes into my lungs.
I choke on dust.
Dust! And also dust. It's in the air. It makes you sneeze. It's terrible.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea. Not to like be like Mr. Obvious or whatever, but this sucks.
Yeah. More red flags. More
Yeah.
red flags. Anyway, for J.A.'s first video, he thought, how funny would it be if he poured 2 scoops of his powdered supplement right into his mouth and filmed his reaction? Now, to help visualize even further, 2 scoops are about 3 tablespoons.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't think I need to describe what J.A. felt when he hammered back that amount of powder.
Was it bad?
Yes. He essentially choked himself, not only cutting off his airway, but clogging up his throat. There was choking, coughing, watery eyes, just a fucking mess. It sounds terrible, and it was the perfect recipe for a viral hit.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, his fail led to a jump in followers of just under 100,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, J.A. was riding the serotonin high of a follower bump and chasing the dragon. He wanted that full, glorious 100K.
No, J.A.,
I know.
it's not worth it.
So he stuck with his successful chugging powder plan, but tweaked it just a bit. He upped the scoops to 4.
No.
And this time he would swallow each, one at a time, drawing out the spectacle. Yeah, and it worked, kinda. He was able to down 4 more goddamn scoops in between the choking, coughing, runny eyes, the torture everyone signed up for to witness.
Now, okay, I love a good fail. I love watching people fall and get hurt. It's so much fun. It's a real blast on the internet. I'm happy it's happening, and I'm happy people's friends are being huge dicks and recording this for me.
Yeah.
I just don't really want to watch someone choke on powder, though. I don't think that's that interesting. Maybe, well, I've never seen it, so.
You have a higher taste. You like accidental fail, not.
Yeah, I don't want my fail orchestrated. I want to slip on the ice.
Yeah.
I want to see someone.
You want a ball to the crotch.
I want a ball to the crotch. Is that too much to ask for? Am I old? I don't know. I'm old school like that.
Okay.
I like a classic.
I love how there's categories of fail.
Oh,
We should
yeah.
maybe we could do an episode on that.
Please, yes.
Maybe.
That would
I
be
know.
amazing.
So I know what you're wondering. Well, maybe like a lot of fucking things. But how does one end such a TikTok? What's the cherry on top of a dry-ass cake you just force-fed yourself?
No fucking idea, man.
If you said more supplements, you're right. Oh, no. Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind as to tell us how J.A. wrapped up his pre-workout supplement binge?
Yeah, I guess. All right. Quote from ladbible.com. He thought it would be funny for the video to chase it down with 4 more scoops already mixed with water as he washed everything down and got ready for his workout, end quote. So basically he did the 4 dry scoops and then he drank 4 more scoops mixed with water.
Yeah.
Does he ever actually work out?
He does. Oh, yeah.
In the video?
I don't think he filmed the workout, but...
Because it'd be boring.
Yeah. When I describe the way... I'm going to get into a description. It's actually really good that he didn't film it because it's not pretty.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get
not
it.
a pretty
All right.
one. So you're exactly right. J.A. consumed somewhere between 8 and 10 scoops of an air quotes focus energy blend that clearly stated on the label the maximum daily intake should not exceed 2.
Okay.
Okay. And we're about to find out why. Are you ready, Dr. Marissa?
Probably not, but give it to me.
Okay. Even before J.A. lifted a weight, he described feeling extremely jittery and already covered in sweat.
Oh, no.
His eyes were wide and bulgy, and he had a headache like no other fucking headache before. And even though he was in a tremendous amount of pain, J.A. did a full workout routine, and he couldn't stop fidgeting and moving, so he thought a workout would help.
Yeah.
Fortunately for J.A., he was able to make it home, just totally fine, and back to his room. Unfortunately, this is when shit really went downhill.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
From another room in the house, J.A.'s mom could hear him stumbling around, practically like tearing up the place. This went on for some time, and then it just stopped.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Alarmed by all of this, Mom went into J.A.'s room and found him unresponsive on the floor.
No, I'm so glad he lives with his mom. Just side note.
Yeah.
That's really good.
If it was Nick's roommates, they probably, I don't know.
They would probably film it.
They'd probably film it or just, like, take something from his room while he was asleep.
Exactly. Like his razor.
So let's now cut to a local emergency room where staff is trying to assess his vitals.
Oh my God.
And remember, J.A. is unresponsive, so he can't tell them what he's been up to all day and what exactly he's been taking. They have to figure this out all by his symptoms alone.
Okay.
And his symptoms were all sorts of fucked up. The blood pressure monitor he's like hooked up to could not provide a reading.
What?
Yeah, not because he's dead. His heart was beating so fast and erratically, it couldn't get a proper reading.
So he was unconscious, but his heart was going super fast.
Yes.
That is fucking wild.
Exactly. This meant doctors had to find it the old-fashioned way, manually. And Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind to tell us what his fucking pulse was?
Yeah, okay. It's in big, bold letters. 330 over 180.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I mean, I am. I'm a fake doctor. I'm not a real doctor.
The finest fake doctor.
The best fake doctor you're ever going to meet. But as to like a human who's not a doctor, that's bad.
That's incredibly not fucking good.
That's incredibly high.
Yeah. Again, to put it into perspective, everyone just feel your heartbeat. That's a normal heartbeat because you're upright and awake. That's your heartbeat. Now just imagine that 3 times faster.
Wow.
J.A.'s pulse was 3 times faster than normal.
So it would be like, basically if you felt his pulse would be like vibrating.
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's also mind-boggling were the blood tests. They came back, and you guessed it, they were normal.
Of course.
That's right.
Of
Because
course.
there were no illicit drugs in his system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Other than being unresponsive with the heart of a goddamn hummingbird, this 25-year-old was totally healthy.
You know, I've got to say, I was shaming him for taking all of this, like, workout shit and stuff earlier. But, you know, when I was his fucking age, I was downing tequila. Yesterday I was downing tequila. I am not one to judge. So, you know what, J.A.? I'm not judging you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just learning from your experience.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
Now, J.A.'s body gave up only one other clue, and it was enough to save his life. One pupil was larger than the other.
Oh.
His eyes couldn't focus properly, which meant something was going on in his brain.
No.
Now, while J.A. was getting a CT scan, his mom had her own eureka moment. She checked her son's TikTok and shared it with the staff. Lo and behold, the hospital was now able to calculate what he took, how much, and how to counter it. So
That's actually kind of genius.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Good for mom. Mm-hmm. You know what? Good for TikTok.
I guess, yeah. It's the cause of and solution to this problem.
Jesus Christ. Oh my
So
God.
let's discuss what the fuck he took. Okay, so his supplement had 200 milligrams of caffeine per scoop.
Whoa.
Yeah, or about 2 cups of coffee in each scoop, which meant in one sitting, J.A. consumed somewhere between 16 and 20 cups of coffee.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dr. Marissa, if you would, please tell us the recommended daily serving of caffeine.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Okay, quote, for healthy adults, the FDA has cited 400 milligrams a day. That's about 4 or 5 cups of coffee, as an amount not generally associated with dangerous or negative effects. End quote.
There you go.
Oh no.
So, not 16.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Now, my friends, caffeine is not the only culprit here. This was a supplement with a bunch of other shit in it. But before we get into who else is at the party, let's return to J.A. in that CT scan.
Yeah.
Okay, now it turns out his insane heartbeat led to an insane increase in blood pressure, which put extreme stress on blood vessels.
Oh, not blood vessels. That's so scary.
I know. Well, remember that headache?
Yeah.
Okay, several actually popped under the pressure, and the internal bleeding swelled his brain, pushing parts against the skull.
This is horrifying.
Yeah.
This is absolutely horrifying.
Yeah. And that's not the only thing going on in his head. Another ingredient he chugged was beta-phenylethylamine.
Okay, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it kind of sounds similar to amphetamine.
That's terrible. That's a bad one.
Yeah, and so this is also basically legal speed.
No!
Yeah, and it's not broken down in the gut like normal food. It makes a beeline to the brain. There, neurons absorb it and fire away.
Oh,
yeah, that's
my
the
God.
only way to get rid of it.
If I was 21, I'd be like, can you say that again for me? And I'd write it down. I was like, where can I get this legal speed? I mean, supplement?
Exactly.
This is terrible, though. This is absolutely horrible.
In J.A.'s case, he took so much, there was a literal traffic jam of this shit throughout his brain. Neurons were backlogged, and the only way for his body to get rid of it was to use it.
No.
So there he was, unconscious, brain bleeding, with his nervous and circulatory system going fucking bonkers.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, J.A. may have had 100,000 followers, but he ended up with parts of his skull being removed that day.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Dr. Marissa, would you please explain what a craniectomy is as provided by healthline.com?
Of course, I'm actually very stressed to read this. All right, quote, a craniectomy is a surgery done to remove a part of your skull in order to relieve pressure in that area when your brain swells. A craniectomy is usually performed after a traumatic brain injury. It's also done to treat conditions that cause your brain to swell or bleed. This surgery often serves as an emergency life-saving measure. If left untreated, pressure or bleeding can compress your brain and push it down onto the brain stem. This can be fatal or cause permanent damage to the brain. End quote. Did you hear my soft, stressed, empathetic voice there?
Yes, it did. It came out.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. But I am super stoked to tell you that the surgery went well.
Jesus. Okay.
And J.A.'s vitals were stabilized eventually. So what happens with that hole in your head?
Great question.
Yeah, so I knew you were going to ask. Yeah. So according to livescience.com, after part of the skull is removed, quote, doctors cover the person's brain using the scalp. Several weeks or months later, once the swelling goes down, doctors can either put the portion of the skull back into place or cover the hole with a metal or plastic plate. End quote.
I am speechless.
Yeah, the putting the portion back, that blew my mind. Kind of blew my mind a little.
So they have to keep it in like a box somewhere?
Yes.
For
Like a shoebox.
how long? Is he even close to recovered? This was April, right?
This was
Oh,
sometime...
no, that was the other one.
Yeah.
This was, when did this happen?
At least a year ago.
At least a year ago.
Yeah.
Is he still sitting in the hospital waiting for his brain to chill out?
So, I know that he's alive and he's still making a recovery.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I just know that he's alive and just working through it. And I don't know what option he chose, his skull, metal, or plastic. So, I don't know. There's a lot of privacy concerns here, so there's...
That is completely fair. J.A., if you're listening, I hope you're doing okay. I have chugged much worse things in my life and never had to go to a hospital lose a part of my skull to survive it. I hope you're able to make a recovery and move on with your life.
Yeah, just chug over time. I think that's a thing. I think because he did it all at once.
Slow chug.
Slow chug.
A little... You know what? Chug a margarita. Don't chug it. Like, sip it with food.
Yes.
That is my...
Yeah, that's what we learned at the end.
You know what? If you need to consume something...
Tequila.
It's tequila. Unless you're in recovery or you don't want to drink.
I think that's the message everyone learned today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Drink margaritas.
That's right.
Not supplements.
There you go. Thanks for listening, rating, subscribing, telling your friends. Please tell your friends about J.A. and Nick.
Please do. And Nick, y'all are awesome. We adore the fuck out of y'all. And we love hearing from you. And we've been hearing from you guys a lot. So reach out more. We'll read your stuff here and we will toast you with margaritas.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Tell us your caffeine stories or your supplement stories. There's got to be something.
Yeah, or do you have weird face stuff? I mean, obviously I do, but I want to hear your stuff. Do you like looking at weird face stuff? You're not alone.
You're not alone. You're part of the flock, so welcome. And please Stay interesting.
Please do.